Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Bell County made a big announcement yesterday as it plans to bring in job opportunities for Eastern Kentucky. And some Kentucky lawmakers are looking to make vaccine mandates for employment a thing of the past.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. I'm Madison Carmouche. It is 5:31 on March 22nd, 2024. Let's check in with meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast this morning.
Good morning, Madison. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday, almost there to the weekend. And temperature-wise, as we start to now bring in some clouds from the south and southwest, well, we're sitting in the mid-30s, which isn't too shabby for this time of the year. And guess what? Mild surge of air gets us into the 60s, and yes, some of us the lower 70s today as our system brings a scattered shower pattern that eventually develops into some rain heading through tonight. Things improve Saturday. Palm Sunday still looking good. And we got a good start to the work week on Monday, just in case you want to look ahead. But who wants to right now? We're getting into the weekend mode. Temperature-wise, we are in the 30s, and yes, some of us close to 40 as we get going on this Friday morning. The pinpoint Doppler radar, ignore the green blob of madness here. It's clear air mode. A couple of showers, some sprinkles, mainly. Monticello back toward Columbia to get closer to the Tennessee state line. This will continue to evolve and track toward us as we head through this morning. So scattered showers, pretty much Jackson Hazard points west. Evolves into a rain pattern heading into tonight and a late day high this afternoon, this evening, up close to 70. More about how things improve over the weekend with the First Alert 7-day forecast coming up in just a few moments. Madison?
Tim, thank you. A Whitley County man charged with murder was indicted by a grand jury earlier this week. 73-year-old Michael Boyd Connor is accused of murdering Charles Oler. He was arrested after investigators found the 73-year-old dead inside his home back in January. Police searched Connor's home in Corbin, then placed him under arrest. 2 people are facing charges after police found drugs on them during a traffic stop in Harlan County. Deputies conducted the traffic stop last Sunday. Deputies noticed during the stop Charles Napier trying to get rid of a large bag of suspected meth from the vehicle. Marijuana, money, and drug paraphernalia were found during a search of the vehicle. Napier and Shaylin Sieber were taken to the Harlan County Detention Center, but Sieber has since been released. More than 1,000 jobs could soon be created by the construction of a hydropower facility in Bell County. WYMT's RJ Johnson has more on yesterday's big announcement.
A project that's been more than a year in the making. An $81 million grant will help build the $1.3 billion Lewis Ridge Pumped Storage Hydropower Facility in Bell County.
The project was approved for rye development to transition a former coal mine site adjacent to the Cumberland River to a pumped storage hydroelectric facility. Congratulations to rye development. And thank you to President Biden, Secretary Jennifer Granholm, Deputy Secretary David Turk, and the Department of Energy for supporting Kentucky as we continue to meet America's energy needs.
Governor Andy Beshear says the project will create enough energy to power more than 60,000 homes each year while providing more than 1,000 jobs.
The project will create about 1,500 high-quality construction jobs, 30 operational jobs, and will deliver enough clean energy to power about 67,000 homes annually.
Senate President Robert Stivers says this will be great for the county.
It will have a huge fiscal impact in that region, a region that if you knew the historical background, the sociological changes, that was once a rich energy production area that had a population in that county of probably around 50,000 at one time that now has less than 30,000. This is an opportunity to restore hope,
while also having an impact on the region as a whole.
This is something that is in Bell County, but for multiple counties. It will impact Knox County, Harlan County, Clay County, Whitley County, a lot of counties in and around the area.
In Bell County, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
While this is a great step in the project, it will take a while to complete. According to the project's website, construction will not begin until 2027. And that is not the only thing the governor discussed during his Team Kentucky update yesterday. The governor mentioned attending the grand opening of The Journey on Tuesday, which is a women's residential recovery center. The recovery center in Ashland was awarded a grant worth $925,000 from the state's recovery housing program. It is the first project from the program to be completed. There is new leadership at the Kentucky Justice and Public Safety Cabinet. Governor Beshear's office announced multiple appointments yesterday. Keith Jackson was named secretary, Mona Womack deputy secretary, and Randy White as commissioner of the Department of Juvenile Justice. Jackson became the first African American appointed chief of the Lexington Division of Fire and Emergency Services back in 2012. The Kentucky Board of Education has found its next education commissioner, and he works for an Eastern Kentucky school district. Lawrence County Schools Superintendent Dr. Robbie Fletcher has been tabbed as the next commissioner. Prior to being named superintendent for Lawrence County Schools back in 2014, Fletcher was the principal at Sheldon Clark High School in Martin County for many years. Here's what Fletcher said in part statement yesterday. Quote, "I appreciate the Kentucky Board of Education selecting me for your next commissioner of education. It was evident in the interview process that each person on the board has a profound love for every child in the Commonwealth. I am thankful to have a large network of people who were always willing to listen, to consult, or to advise regardless of the professional title that I held." A bill to outlaw COVID vaccine mandates is making its way through Frankfort. Senate Bill 295 would bar schools, businesses, and hospitals from forcing people to get COVID shots. Supporters say the COVID-19 vaccine has done more harm than good, citing studies that point to COVID-19 vaccinations as a factor behind sudden deaths in young Americans. But the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says research has shown people receiving COVID vaccines are at no greater risk of death from non-COVID causes than unvaccinated people.
It is just unnecessary right now, and the data is starting to show very clearly there's no reason to require this vaccine. And they had to make a decision of their health versus their job, or their school and their future career, or their health. And nobody should be forced to make that decision.
Senate Bill 295 has gone through some changes, and Senator Teichner says a more targeted bill might be easier to get through Frankfort during the current legislative session. A bill aimed at keeping Kentucky classrooms safer is moving forward in Frankfort. House Bill 275 would force teacher applicants to disclose whether they were the subject of any sexual misconduct allegations or investigations within the past year. Districts would also be prevented from entering into non-disclosure agreements related to teacher misconduct.
After gaining my trust, he would emotionally manipulate me and the other students he favored, publicly shunning and alienating anyone who did something to upset him.
The bill's sponsor says the legislation is simply to target the very few teachers who are bad actors in the system. It passed the committee unanimously and now goes to the full Senate. Lawmakers are close to passing a new law dealing with vaping and how school districts deal with that. House Bill 142 simply tells districts they need to adopt policies and stick to those rules. Part of the concern is vaping products can often be tainted with other substances. The bill would require school boards to set policies including prevention and cessation materials, signage stating vaping or nicotine products aren't allowed, and set punishment for students caught with products.
For students under 21, it allows districts to confiscate alternative nicotine products, and further offenses shall result in an in-school suspension or an out-of-school suspension based on what their policy dictates.
The bill passed the full House 80-11 and did not face any real opposition in the committee, but it may need to go back if it passes the full Senate because of changes made. When we return, one of the world's most famous composers is planning to make a North American tour this fall.
Well, after the cool day yesterday, we've got a milder day on tap today, kind of the flip-flop though. We're going to end up seeing an increase of moisture. How does this start to play out as we head through today and tonight? We'll let you know. Your first alert 7-day forecast is coming up right after this.
There it is. That feeling you get when you can do more with less asthma. It starts with Dupixent. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma and can help improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent helps prevent asthma attacks and can even reduce or eliminate oral steroids. Can you picture it? Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Who knows what you can do when you do more with less asthma? Ask your doctor about Dupixent, the most prescribed biologic for asthma.
Monsters of Destruction, monster trucks and freestyle motocross riders are ready to hit Corbin. These trucks and riders are the best of the best, and you don't want to miss it. Jurassic Attack, Kamikaze, Toxic, War Wizard, and American Scout, ready to compete to see who's toughest. Every ticket is a pit pass. Meet the drivers, take a ride in a real monster truck. Monster trucks, freestyle motocross, and monster truck rides. Don't miss the Monsters of Destruction at the Corbin Arena, March 22nd and 23rd. Get tickets now at monstersofdestruction.com.
The cornerstone of Investigate TV is investigative journalism.
Should this be better regulated? How big of a problem is that? We always try to give viewers a takeaway, something they can learn from a story.
Should they be revoking these certifications?
The public has a right to know. There are things that affect our homes, that affect our families, that affect our health, that we are learning every day from these stories.
It allows us to tell the best of the best stories and show them to you every day.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire, and how to control the flames. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
Is a trusted space.
This is a trusted space.
This is a trusted space.
This is a trusted space.
WYMT First Alert Weather, sponsored by ARH, the healthcare system of Appalachia.
And a good Friday morning to you. Let's get you out the door with some milder temperatures this morning, especially as you make your way toward Moorhead, about 10 degrees warmer than this time yesterday morning. 39 right along, 64 downtown Somerset. Going to keep an eye on your way. 43 right now. This source courtesy of the EDA, and could be a few sprinkles starting to come into play here as we make our way toward the top of the hour. Outside our door, it's 34 here in Hazard as we're going to continue to see the clouds increase, and over toward the medical center, kind of the same deal, near 40 as of last check. And temperatures around the region right now, it's at 34 at Manchester to 42 at London, Williamsburg doing 43. Prestonsburg at 35, Irvine at 41, closer to 30 as you make your way toward Clintwood. And
we lost him. We'll get back to you with your weather in just a little bit. But all right, looks like Netflix, Disney, Hulu, Max. If you subscribe to any of those or more, you aren't alone. Deloitte Insight's new digital media trends report found U.S. households subscribing to video streaming services spend $61 a month on average for 4 services. That's a $13 increase from last year's survey. However, researchers also report nearly half of those surveyed said they would cancel their favorite subscription if prices only went up by $5 a month. In 1988, a very big man and a very small man starred as brothers in a hit comedy called Twins. More than 35 years later, Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger are teaming up again for a new movie. DeVito said in a recent interview the film is currently being written and they're looking forward to filming. The news comes after DeVito and Schwarzenegger appeared together at the Oscars for a bit, on both playing Batman villains. They followed up the success of Twins with another comedy, 1994's Junior. Megan Thee Stallion is going on tour. Beyonce will receive a special honor, and House of Dragon is back. CBS's Danya Backus has your eye on entertainment.
Beyonce is scheduled to make an appearance at the 2024 iHeartRadio Awards in Los Angeles. She'll receive its Innovator Award. She's being recognized for her decades of creative risks and influencing pop culture on a mass scale. The ceremony, which takes place on April 1st, will be hosted by Ludacris. In dueling trailers for the second season of House of the Dragon, fans are being asked to pick a side.
Alicent's son sits my throne. I mean to fight this war and win it.
The Black trailer focuses on Rhaenyra, Prince Daemon, and their forces on Dragonstone.
I'm as fearsome as any of them.
You have no idea the sacrifices that were made to put you on that throne.
The Green trailer is Alicent, her father Otto, and her children, King Aegon and Prince Aemond. Season 2 of House of the Dragon premieres June 16th. Grammy Award-winning artist Megan Thee Stallion has officially announced the Hot Girl Summer Tour. The 31-city worldwide tour will feature special guest Glorilla. Shows kick off in Minneapolis May 14th before wrapping up in Las Vegas June 22nd. And on a new episode of Tracker, Coulter reluctantly teams up with his nemesis to track down a missing racehorse. Watch Tracker Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Oscar-winning conductor Hans Zimmer, who has scored a number of beloved films, is launching a North American tour this fall. It comes on the heels of a European tour, and it will be his first time performing in the U.S. in 7 years. Back then, he joked he was bullied into touring. He'll be performing in 17 cities in the U.S. and Canada in October and November. The German composer is behind the scores of such movies as The Lion King, Dune, The Dark Knight, Trilogy, Interstellar, and Inception. He's won 2 Oscars and 4 Grammys. Tickets go on sale Friday. The Boss is back. Bruce Springsteen resumed his world tour this week after hitting pause 6 months ago to deal with health issues. He cut his tour short last year on advice from his doctors as he was treated for peptic ulcer disease. He is better now and relaunched his tour with his E Street Band Tuesday night at downtown Phoenix Footprint Center. The next stop is Las Vegas on Friday. Springsteen then heads to Europe for a run of stadium shows in May, then returns for more shows in the U.S. and wraps up in November in Vancouver. Just ahead, we will help you plan out your day with stories you should keep an eye on. Plus, Tim will have another check of today's weather.
America's been thunderstruck by the award-winning Mitsubishi Outlander at Thornhill Mitsubishi. Backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Drive a 2024 Outlander with 0% APR for 60 months or lease for $319 a month. Only at Thornhill Mitsubishi. Get thunderstruck.
Monsters of Destruction, monster trucks and freestyle motocross riders are ready to hit Corbin. These trucks and riders are the best of the best, and you don't want to miss it. Jurassic Attack, Kamikaze, Toxic, War Wizard, and American Scout, ready to compete to see who is toughest. Every ticket is a pit pass. Meet the drivers, take a ride in a real monster truck. Monster trucks, freestyle motocross, and monster truck rides. Don't miss the Monsters of Destruction at the Corbin Arena, March 22nd and 23rd. Get tickets now at monstersofdestruction.com.
I'm Belinda, and this is Willard, and we were adopted in 2021. When we first met Todd, he was singing a song, and I was like, wow, look at this kid with the biggest smile, and he has a big heart to match.
The energy you give Todd, you get it back from Todd.
Yeah.
Todd's a joy.
Yes,
Todd's really is a great joy.
I love him. You and you.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
Hi, I'm Peyton Manning, and I'm partnering with the American Red Cross this year to tackle blood shortages. Giving blood's important because every 2 seconds, someone actually needs blood, and unfortunately, only like 3% of the U.S. population donates. So we have to step up to give and to make sure there's plenty of blood available for those in need. Visit redcrossblood.org to get in the game and make an appointment to give.
Can you help me?
What you got there?
Will you help my mom?
Hey, crew, I'll give the first move to anyone who signs up to be an organ donor. How do you do it?
Easy. Just go to organdonor.gov.
More donors means more hope. Sign up at organdonor.gov.
Kids aren't the only ones drowning in social media, but teens are definitely the most attached to their phones, which is not all good. Kids who spend too much time texting and posting are more likely to feel isolated and depressed. No one is saying throw your phone away, but once in a while, try actually calling somebody. Talking is even more social than social media. For more clues on how to clear your head and brighten your outlook, try visiting one more site, yourlifeyourvoice.org.
WYMT Mountain Sports, sponsored by ARH Orthopedic. Keep moving, keep living.
Good morning. The time is 5:52. Here's a look at some of today's top national stories that we're watching. 2 white supremacist gang members will face a judge in Idaho today. They're accused of leading police on a statewide manhunt for 36 hours. Officials say they are also investigating 2 homicides that are potentially connected to the suspects. Investigators say Nicholas Umfenor shot 2 corrections officers outside a Boise hospital Wednesday, helping free Skylar Mead from prison custody. Police say they found Mead's shackles at the scene of one of the homicides. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken meets with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his war cabinet today. Blinken is expected to share alternatives to Israel's planned ground assault into the town of Rafah in southern Gaza. Yesterday, Blinken met with Arab leaders. The U.S. is also calling for a vote today for tougher UN resolution declaring that an immediate and sustained ceasefire in Gaza is imperative to protect and feed 2 million Palestinians. And over 600 migrants that pushed past Texas National Guard troops and a razor wire fence at the Texas-Mexico border yesterday are now in federal detention facility. Customs and Border Protection says any migrant who has no legal basis to remain in the U.S. is subject to removal and a 5-year bar on reapplying for admission. Texas Governor Greg Abbott says authorities in El Paso quickly regained control and reinforced the barrier.
And welcome back, everyone. Temperature-wise this morning in the 30s, some of us closer to 40, like at Jackson, Irvine at 41, 42 at London. We're at 40 as you make your way toward Pikeville, but notice 30 at Clintwood, and up your way at Ashland, it's 32. All right, check it out. Pinpoint Doppler radar, where we were last talking about until we decided to go into freeze mode again. Again, it's in clear air mode, but we look back toward Monticello and Columbia. Indeed, a few sprinkles, a couple of showers, and we're going to continue to see the shower activity blossom out your way as this area of moisture here is now starting to erupt basically along and west of 75. So that'll be tracking toward Lexington. It will eventually get toward Moorhead. That's why we're emphasizing the scattered activity to the north and west, because there's still a lot of dry air for most of us across eastern Kentucky. Now back out to the west. Here's our developing area of low pressure that will continue to draw moisture up toward us as we head through the next 24 hours. So that being said, the future view shows how our scattered shower pattern will develop as we head through the rest of the day into a widespread light rainfall pattern heading through tonight, and then things gradually improve as we head through your Saturday. Forecast high temperatures today. Cumberland Valley, mid and upper 60s, lower 70s as you get closer to the Tennessee state line. On into the Kentucky River Valley, same deal, basically between 67 to 72 as you make your way toward Hyden, and then into the Big Sandy Valley, same deal here. 67 as you make your way toward Sandy Hook. We'll do 72 your way at Pikeville. Here is your hour-by-hour forecast as we head through today. Whatever sunshine we see, we'll end up losing as we head through the morning. The scattered shower pattern will eventually start to move in as we head through the afternoon for everyone, and a high today in Hazard close to 70. Overnight tonight, lows down between 45 and 50, up to 55 as we start to improve things late in the day for your Saturday. Palm Sunday still looking nice, near 60. Nice way to start off the work week on Monday. Unsettled Tuesday and Wednesday. Madison?
Stop forecast, sponsored by Big Sandy Heating and Cooling, the king of comfort.
The following rules cover WYMT contests, but may be superseded by separate rules for specific contests. No purchase necessary. One winner per household per contest. The following is a list of those who are ineligible to enter and win contests. Unless otherwise stated, entrants must be a legal U.S. citizen, 18 or older, living in Kentucky and the WYMT viewing area. You may win a prize in a contest once every 60 days, or for a prize valued over $600, only once every 6 months. WYMT is not responsible for technical difficulties that prevent you from entering a contest. Prizes must be claimed per our instructions and are awarded pending verification of eligibility, are non-transferable, and cannot be exchanged or redeemed for cash. Decisions of WYMT are final. Winners must present valid government-issued photo ID and information required for tax purposes. Winners must comply with all rules, sign and return all liability and publicity releases, or forfeit prize, and are solely responsible for all taxes. For complete official rules, visit our studio or web channel at WYMT.com.
Horrible migraines, body chills, debilitating pain, dangerously high fever and fatigue that leaves you bedridden. Sound like a bad day? Well, what if it was your whole year, decade, your entire life? For those suffering from chronic Lyme disease, it is. Yeah, Lyme disease. Trust me, you don't know the full story. We are Global Lyme Alliance. We have answers, we have hope, we have help.
Wounded Warrior Project has been with me every step of my journey.
They've helped me realize it's possible to rise to the top again.
It's possible to get the help I need for me and my family.
It's possible to hang push-ups again.
To feel understood.
To begin healing both inside and out.
To feel like myself again.
And now I know anything is possible.
Of all the things you remember to bring with you, naloxone could be the most important. If you or someone you know is at risk for opioid overdose, naloxone could save their life. Keep it on you and at home. Visit cdc.gov/stop-overdose.
This is a trusted space.
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 Coming up on Mountain News this morning, multiple schools across the Commonwealth received bomb threats this week, causing 4 evacuations. And Perry County will soon be commemorating all of the lives lost during the July 2022 flood.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Madison Carmouche. It is 6 a.m. on March 22nd, 2024. Let's check in with meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your Friday and weekend weather.
You said it, Madison. Friday, the weekend's on tap. We'd like to have some good weather, especially considering Sunday is Palm Sunday. I think we can deliver. Check it out. A lot of clouds starting to come on in from the south and southwest, mid-30s here in Hazard. See the sunshine this morning. I think it's going to be the faded sunshine look to the sky as we look for a scattered shower pattern, mainly west of Jackson and Hazard to develop a good part of the day. We all get into the light rain heading through tonight. And then things improve for Saturday, setting the stage for a beautiful Palm Sunday. And if you're looking ahead to Monday, I know you don't want to. Things look good to start off the work week on Monday. In the meantime, as we wrap up this week, temperature-wise, we are in the mid-upper 30s and lower 40s this morning. The pinpoint Doppler radar ignored this. High sensitivity mode with the radar. Some sprinkles, a couple of showers, Monticello, that is, Columbia, back to the southwest as this area of moisture continues to evolve and track toward us. All right, the hour-by-hour forecast for today shows we look for a scattered shower pattern again, mainly Hazard, Jackson, west and north as we head through your Friday. Otherwise, we get up to 70 this afternoon. How things improve for tomorrow. The First Alert 7-day forecast coming up in just a few moments. Madison.
Tim, thank you. Fake threats forced evacuations at several schools yesterday. District leaders say Glendover Elementary School received an anonymous call about a bomb threat. Students and staff were evacuated as a precaution. Broadhead Elementary School in Rockcastle County was also evacuated, and in Madison County, Kingston Elementary School also received a swatting call. These are just some of the many threats schools across the state have received in the past week. Officer Barry Manley with Berea Police says they've reached out to federal agencies like the FBI and Homeland Security to assist with their investigation into these threats.
It's our job. No matter what, we're going to respond, and we're going to investigate the scenario as much as we can. Not only are we sending, everybody that's currently, working, but then we also use the resources to call off-duty officers and off-duty firemen and so on and so forth to, hey, can you get on the road and help us out as we're investigating the scenario.
Madison County Schools posted again on Facebook, thanking everyone for their patience and understanding while they work to resolve the situation at hand. One Perry County woman is creating a legacy for her son's life that will honor and remember the lives lost in the July 2022 flood. I am about to take a closer look at a memorial coming to the region. Rhonda Crawford says seeing her son's name on the flood memorial in Knott County inspired her family to create something bigger for the region as a whole.
We want a memorial that would feature the Eastern Kentucky, because together we came together and pulled through, and we wanted everyone that was lost to be remembered.
The memorial in Perry County will honor all 45 of the victims lost in the flood, including Rhonda's son, Mick, who died of cardiac arrest after the flood.
Not everybody drowned in the flood. There were people that were helping other people. There were people who were trapped in their homes and didn't have oxygen that they needed, different reasons that they passed away. But all those were important.
She adds that Mick's big heart was his shining characteristic, even in his death.
My daughter had bracelets made that's like, what would Mick do? And that's kind of what we are doing, because we want to keep his legacy alive.
Rhonda's daughter Rachel also designed the memorial and brought it to their pastor and Perry County Sheriff Joe Engel.
And I said, get me a number. And so that's what she done. We got a number on it, which was $14,200.